Hello student, in our book Indian Economic Development, here we discuss about the chapter 1 Economic Development and Growth. In that we discuss about economic development. The meaning of economic development is a process whereby an economy's real national income as well as per capita income increased over a long period of time. Here, the process implies the impact of certain forces which operate over a long period and embody changes in dynamic elements. It contains changes in resource supplies, in the rate of capital formation, in demographic composition, in technology, skill, and efficiency, in institutional and organizational setup. It also implies respective changes in the structure of demand for goods, in the level of pattern of income distribution, in size and composition of population, and in consumption habit and living standards, and in the pattern of social relationship and religious dogmas, ideas and institution. In short, economic development is a process consisting of a long chain of interrelated changes in the fundamental factors of supply and in the structure of demand, leading to a rise in the net national product of a country in the long run. It means economic development is a policy intervention that aims to improve the quality of life of a country's citizens. It involves changes in the country's income as well as saving and investment as well as progressive changes to its socio-economic structure. Here the definition of economic development, in that there have many definitions, but here we discuss the first one definition. Economic development is a process whereby an economy's real national income increased over a long period of time. Then our next point is indicators of economic development. In that, here the first indicator of economic development is high real national income, which is high real national income is a common indicator of economic development accepted by most of the economists. Usually, high national income indicates high level of economic development. High real national income of a country is the index of higher economic development. The real national income is the measuring rod of economic development. The word real signifies purchasing power. If the national income increases, prices remains the same, then real national income increases. A developed economy generates more income, so it is considered as the indicator of development. Then our second indicator is increase in welfare of the people. It means that point explain that economic well-being of the people depends upon the availability of sufficient goods and services. If the production increases substantially, then the people can satisfy their all types of wants easily. Thus, increase in the economic welfare of people is the indicator of economic development. Then our third point of economic development is uh, technical changes. This is also an indicator of economic development. Economic development indicates more output and more welfare. It is possible due to technical progress. Economic development implies changes in the technical and institutional arrangement by which more goods are produced. So the ways and means for raising the national income. For, for example, technology indicates economic development. Also, there have some points on the basis of that we can say that our economy is developed. Then next fourth indicator, which is efficient use of resources. In that, economic development also refers to the process whereby the people utilize the resources, so optimum utilization and minimizing wastage indicates our economic development. Then next indicator is removal of poverty and inequality of income. The underdeveloped countries are caught in the vicious circle of poverty. They have wide inequality of income also. As the economy develops, employment, income, etc. increases in the course of time, absolute poverty is eradicated. As the employment opportunity increases, income inequality reduce. Reduction in the poverty and unemployment indicates economic development. Then our next indicator is high quality of human resources, which explain that the high quality of population is indicated by high life expectancy. Means people are living high profile life, high life expectancy is also there, high standard of health, development of work culture, scientific attitude among the people, etc. This is the result of economic progress or development. Quality of population and that of human life indicates economic development. In the development economy, it also important point that people standard of living is high. In a developed economy, people live a good life and have self esteem. In the less developed economy, people suffer from miseries, have traditional attitude, and are very lazy. As the economy develops, the above mentioned changes take place. The next indicator is development of agriculture. It means that in the high agriculture productivity and developed agriculture makes the country self-sufficient in a food grains, cash crops, etc. Economic development revolutionaries agriculture. So developed agriculture indicates economic development. Then our next indicator is industrialization. Industrialization of the economy is considered as a key of economic development. Development of the basic and key industries that are capital goods. Industry indicates economic development. So industries produce consumer goods satisfying different types of needs of the people, get creating new job opportunities. So income and standard of living of the people will also increase, improved, we can say that. This is the indicator of economic development. Then our next point is favorable terms of trade. It means that the external position of the country should also have some favorable trade practices. Then also favorable terms of trade, how excess of foreign exchange earning over the payment. This is one of the desirable balance of payment position, which are the many cases the indicators of. This one is also indicator of economic development. Then our next point is increase in the government's revenue. uh, in the our national income, national output and per capita income is also increased through economic development. So tax pays capacity of the people increases and the government can collect larger revenue by the way of taxes. The increased tax revenue leads the fiscal reliance of the government. This is an indicator of economic development. So this one is also very important point. Then our next point is social securities. This one is also indicator. If the government is looking after old, handicapped person and also unemployed and poor, then such social security measures adopted by the government and is also indicator of economic development. Then our last point is import substitution. It means that it is also a sign of economic development. It improves techniques of production, use of new machineries, make it possible to the people, to the laborer to increase the production of the business, increase the production in the factories. As the number of substitute products goes on increasing, unnecessary dependence on imports can be avoided. Such a country slowly become self-reliant. Import substitution makes possible saving of foreign exchange. As also budgetary provisions for research and development activity in the country makes possible through the import substitution to develop new product which are the real substitute for imported goods. Import substitute also makes possible to avoid competition by the foreign companies in Indian market. Then our next point is which refer needs of economic development. This is also very important. Why there is a need of economic development? Economic development is a critical component that drives economic growth in our economy, create high wage jobs and facilitating to improve the quality of the life of the people. The business develop also. So we can say that economic development is very important. In that, first point is job creation. Yes, it is very necessary to create a job. Economic development is very necessary. Economic developer provide critical assistance and information to companies that create job in our economy. We help to connect new to market and existing companies with the resources and partners they need to expand, such as career source, central florid utilities, and country and city partner. Then our next need is industry diversification. It means that works to diversify the economy, reducing a region's vulnerability to a single industry. While tourism plays an important role in the creating a job, as well as economic development efforts help to grow industries outside to tourism, including innovative technologies and digital media, life sciences and healthcare, aviation, aerospace and defense. Also, these are some industry diversification. Then our third point is business retention and expansion. This explains that a large percentage of job in the uh, Orlando economy are created by existing companies that are expanding their operations. Our economic development team executed 73 businesses retention and expansion visits to local companies just last year to assist with their operational needs. The next point is economy fortification. Economic development help to protect the local economy from economic downturns by attracting and expanding the region's major employers. The next point is increased tax revenues. Yes, this one is also very important point. The increased presence of companies in the region translates to increased tax revenue for community project and local infrastructure. And the last but not least point is improved quality of life. Better infrastructure and more jobs improve the economy of the region and raise the standards of living for its residents. Then our next slide is related with the importance of economic development. The importance of economic development in that capital formation is the first point. There can be no two opinions about the fact that the economic development depend upon capital formation, but it is also true that economic development helps in the formation of capital. Economic development helps in raising the productivity of agriculture industries and thereby creating economic surplus. The economic surplus can be used for productive and development activities, which in turns raise income, savings and capital formation. The next importance is exploitation of natural resources. It means economic development promotes scientific knowledge and technologies, which in turn help in the invention of new instruments, new opportunities and technologies for the help in economic development. It also, once the natural resources are fully and judicially exploited, many other benefits start accruing in the shape of improved irrigation facilities, generation and electricity, expansion of mineral wealth, etc. As the matter that the fact of economic development changes the complexity of the entire economy and progress takes place in the strength to strengthen our economy. The next important is development of agriculture. Yes, also the backwardness of agriculture is it is an important feature of the underdeveloped country. So for economic development not only help in the removing the backwardness but also act as an instrument for self reliance. The next importance is development of industries. Development of industry is another gift of economic development. It is an admitted fact that agriculture and industry can complement to each other. The development of these two sectors is interdependent. The development agricultural sector helps in rapid industrialization, For that, necessary raw material is provided by the agriculture for the growth of industries. New industries are set up, and with them numerous subsidiary industries also spirit up. The next important is increase in national output. Yes, this is also very important point. This is also importance of economic development, which economic development helps in raising the agricultural and industrial productivity of a country. The expansion of these two sectors contribute in raising the level of national output. Higher income offer the ability to choose. People can have more things and can diminish their hunger, diseases, and early death. But it is must be remembered that increase in national output can be meaningful only if population of the country is kept under check. The next point is expansion of social services. Yes, this is also important point. Another important gift of economic development is the expansion of social services. For example, education, health service, roads, means of communication, electricity, etc. As development precedes the demand for social services, and the expansion of existing services arises. To cope with the rising demand for the expansion of social services, state government takes attempt to make larger investment allocation for the purpose. The next point is international status. As development proceeds, the public aspiration grow high. The demand for higher wages rise, and that can be made by raising the level of development tempo. This is possible through technological development. Then next point is takeoff. The underdeveloped countries are more interested in achieving the stage of takeoff as early as possible. This task can be accomplished through the instrument of economic development. All the essential conditions of the takeoff can be made by the accelerated pace of economic development. The next point is increased in public revenue. It has already been pointed out that economic development raises the level of national output and the per capita income of the masses. Higher per capita income enhances the taxability capacity of the people. The government can collect larger revenues by exploiting higher taxable capacity of the people. And the last but not least is social significance. So far we have discussed the economic importance of development, and now we touch upon its social significance. Economic development expert exert a greater control over the environment and thus increases in the range of human choices. Though it may not necessarily result in greater human happiness, it increases freedom as to effort in the relation to output is reduces. So it is very important. That means economic development makes very important things in our country.